Hello. Okay, so yeah, this is a little bit of a clickbaity title, but the reality is this video is about community. There are some great technologies in crypto that if they don't have a strong, passionate, enthusiastic community around them supporting that project or that product, then it doesn't matter. No one will ever know. And Hexicans, the Hexican community by far is the strongest and most amazing community in crypto I've ever seen, and I'll tell you why today. So this is not financial advice. It's not betting advice. Um, I'm just going to go through a couple things, some observations, and I love crypto culture. When I first heard about and got into Hex, it was one of the first things that I looked at. Yes, the code is important, but there are other Hex copycats that have math and code that have failed and are struggling. So, and you could say, well, it's not the same. I don't care. It's the community. It's Hexicans that have been driving this. And by the way, I started this video like a month and a half ago, because whenever I get ideas for videos, I just start them. And this week I was like, man, I was feeling a lot better about the price, when I started this. But I think now more than ever, a video like this is necessary. A reminder. So here's 8 reasons I wouldn't bet against the Hexicans. And I know there's people that talk about being healthy and diversification and stuff like that. Others would say, well, if you spend your money on another crypto, then that's a bet against Hex. I don't care. You can argue those semantics. You could just also say the title of this video is 8 reasons Hexicans are awesome, or 8 reasons I like being a Hexican. So I'm going to say them I'm going to use they when describing it, but I'm a Hexican, proud Hexican for forever. For the rest of my life, I will be, period. That's it. So number 1, they've been through the muck together. It doesn't matter how long you've been in Hex at this point. If you're day one, if you were a follower of Richard Hart's before, or if you got in before Big Payday, after Big Payday, or last month, you've been in the muck. You've been part of someone calling it a scam, or someone reading all the other people that are calling it a scam. So there's this hardened aspect to being in a community of people that knows the truth about something, but has to fight the rest of the world to make the case of it not being a scam, because it's just not. It's not. There are no victims. There's nothing that's ever been shown that it's a scam. But there is a bonding that happens in a community when you're, out in the trenches and fighting the good fight to help not only defend, but also just explain to people that the stuff that they may have read is just not true. And in some cases, that bond, or I should say being in the muck together, has made it difficult for some OG Hexicans, frankly, to be open to seeing other projects that are being built, even by Hexicans on PulseChain. So they're really, they're really stuck in that, and that's okay. They were here earlier, and they've been fighting that fight longer. There's thousands of millionaires. Hex has made thousands of millionaires. Now, last month there were more thousands. It's been taking a beating a bit, but this idea of the HEXFLEX and people showing the things that they've been buying. And by the way, I'm showing this in the background. You can see the blingy stuff, but my favorite stories are things like people getting their parents out of debt, buying their mom a car, taking care of a family, taking care of a family of friends. I think that's a better HEXFLEX. But suffice it to say, there's thousands of millionaires already in this community that are putting their efforts towards not only growing the success of Hex, but also assisting in other Hexicans being successful by staking. And on that note, retired Hexicans quit their jobs to work on promoting Hex. We're seeing more and more Hexicans that are retiring to then turn to full-time, either running into merch or creating content or taking meetings, flying all over the world to take meetings with others to help promote Hex. And I think that's great. So you have these young retired people that are millionaires that are out promoting Hex. That's amazing. And Pulse too, PulseChain. Cross promotion. This is one of the earliest things that I saw that I thought was the most impressive. You'll see other projects, other Promise Coin projects, and someone will start off and they'll say like, "I'm XRP Bill" or whatever, and then they get a little bit of traction, and other coins start contacting them, and then they turn into a furu. Simply, I mean, that's what ends up happening. Hexicans cross promote. There is this we, not me aspect of it. And there are some Hexicans that are known for just being all, literally like all over the place. They're in a bunch of different streams. And I think that this will prove to be one of the most powerful components of promotion and of just levels of confidence in a community, in a crypto community. The fact that I would happily have any other Hexican come on a stream if I'm doing it or doing another video, and it has nothing to do with me promoting myself, it speaks volumes. And that cross promotion also helps with one person gets a certain type of audience that likes the way that they talk about this, and then someone else comes in like, "Ooh, I like him as well," or I like this TA. Cross promotion. Now, if you know another community that does this, I'm open to being proven wrong, but I've never seen it at this level of strength. And I think that that's the secret sauce in how this thing will play out in terms of a crypto community. This may go for lots of other parts of crypto, but there's such a huge variety of backgrounds with a shared ethos in Hex. People in the military, legacy finance, jungle hippies, whoever, rappers, writers, movie makers, everything. And it doesn't matter where people come from. There is this shared ethos of doing good. And I credit Richard Hart with this. His interest initially was just being a self-improvement author and thought leader. That's what he wanted to do. And that has stayed. And I hope that it does stay. I hope that this ethos of doing good things sticks with the Hexican community, no matter how long or no matter how big it grows. And I'm seeing other individuals, Rags to Riches, Crypto Heartbeat, Matt from Crypto Heartbeat, some people that are doing, that are taking that ethos and making sure that it not only sticks with the Hexican community, but also into PulseChain, the PulseChain community as well. And I'm really excited to see how that plays out and this evolution of it. So staked for 5.76 years on average, and many for 15 years, me for 15. You're going to be here. You're going to be talking about this. And when I say stake for average of 5.76 years, many for 15 years, that's a lot of people. Thousands and tens of thousands of people are staked for 15.2 years. They're going to be talking about this. They're going to be finding new ways of creating content, of promoting, of new ideas and new and bringing on and telling others about how great this is. That's a huge commitment. That 15 years in crypto is like 100. I mean, time moves so quickly. And if you first tell someone who's new to Hex, you have a 15-year stake, they look at you like you're nuts. But everyone kind of goes through the same thing. Like literally half of every onboard I have will their first stake will be 2 months. And it just seems kind of, or 6 months or whatever, far away. And I'm like, just do it, get that out of the way. And then next thing you know, they're like, I'm 10 years, 15. The next 15 years, people are going to be talking about this positively. It's amazing. You cannot beat that. PulseChain. Hexicans had the Hex product on Ethereum is amazing. It's perfect. The thing that sucks about it is Ethereum. So Richard Hart is creating PulseChain, and now we get to double our Hex bags. We got a heads up on PulseChain, and there have been some Hexicans that are openly creating PulseChain projects or project on PulseChain, but I've come to find that there's a lot more behind the scenes that are socializing this with friends and other people that they trust. There are private Telegram groups of individuals that are developers that are Hexicans and are excited about Pulse and want to build. And some of the things that I'm hearing about that are being built are so exciting. So exciting. We are talking about true crypto domination. We are taking over crypto. Hexicans are taking over crypto with Hex and PulseChain, period. So out of necessity, Richard Hart has given this additional tool, this super tool for Hexicans to continue growing their success and the success of Hex, of EHEX, PHEX, Pulse, all the other things that are going in that direction that are being built. It's really unbelievable to me that it just sort of happened this way. I mean, it's kind of not surprising in some ways, but in other ways, what a gift. What a gift PulseChain has been to provide more and more excitement to the Hexican community. And I couldn't be more bullish about where we're headed. And I'm a Hexican, I'm a Hex fan first. I think that's better than anything. But PulseChain is super exciting. And then finally, Richard Hart is a Hexican. Why? That should be first, but actually that's first, and I wouldn't even have to do any of this. This could be the one reason, honestly, for me to be a Hexican is because Richard Hart is one. And that sounds so like fanboyish, but I don't care. The dude is amazing. He is absolutely amazing. People sometimes say that Hexicans give this maxi vibe. And I can see it. I can totally see it. I have people that are in Hex that are Hexicans that aren't maybe as rooted in the community as me that will say that, like, man, it has this like maxi vibe. And I totally get that. But I heard someone say I'm a Richard Hart maximalist. And I love that. He's a Hexican. Why? Like, it's not about not betting against him. It's about betting with him. Whatever Richard Hart creates, I'm on board with. And I know he's creating other things. I know PulseChain, it appears to be his legacy product. But he's not going to stop. He's not going to stop thinking of amazing things until we get there. And as we've spent the past 2 months, and this will be dated, in a couple of months, but as we spent the past 2 months and the price has taken a dump, really, I haven't cared. I'm 100% staked. And I'm just like, Richard knows what's going on. I trust him. I trust that he knows exactly what's going on and that the direction that we're headed in is absolute success and total domination in crypto, period. And I'm open to being wrong, and I'm open to someone else coming along and saying, there's this other guy, this other founder that's doing this. And I won't, I'll say, okay, great. I'll listen. I'm not blind to opportunities. I'm open to those types of things. But if there's one reason to be a Hexican, it's because Richard Hart is one, in my opinion. That's it. I want to make this 8 so I can have this under 15 minutes, 2 minutes each. If you have any others to add, please let me know. Hope this has been helpful, especially in this time. If you are watching this in late October, early November of 2021, I couldn't be more bullish about where it is that we're going with Hex. I couldn't be more bullish about where we're going with PulseChain. These dips, the only thing I've had to deal with is just answering other people, but completely unaffected because I know where we're going with this. I know what Hex was programmed to do. I know what PulseChain is going to do. And more importantly, the Hexican community is behind all of these things. And community is the most important part of crypto. And the Hexican community is the best community in crypto, hands down. There's no question in my mind. Thanks so much for your time today. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. Please put your comments, and I will see you around.